and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode on Cyberpunk with Invisible AK. Now, there are many glitchy, weird things that can go on with this game. I've played it and I've come across plenty of them. Sometimes, though, it can be the player that's the problem. You slightly missed the corner, and it turns out the bench is stronger than the car. And the car is not going to be going anywhere soon. We move next on to Mafia III with Kitchen Bear. Now, the way this game works is whenever you have money, you have to have somebody come along and pick it up, basically, so you don't carry too much on you and lose a bunch of it. So they've called in their driver to come and collect the money. Now, they get crashed into a little bit. That's fine. Nothing really happens. They go to get into their vehicle, though. Their friend drives away and proceeds to push them all the way down the road. That is a way to travel. It's not the supposed way to travel and does eventually get pinged off the bonnet when they get to a corner, but still, it's quite impressive. I didn't know. I think I played Mafia. Never know you could do that one. We're on to Days Gone next with some off-roading on a motorbike. Now, I have never really come across this game. However, I know off-roading with vehicles can sometimes get a little bit funky, in this one, with a wheelie and a dodgy landing almost leads to a death. There is not very much health left on the character from that one. The bike has not spiraled off into the abyss, thankfully. The bike has landed back on the road, but yeah, off-roading can be dangerous, and you can get into all sorts of trouble, even on games we're not specifically about vehicles. We move on to SnowRunner next. Speaking of off-roading being dangerous, only this time it isn't so much the off-roading that's the problem. So they've got a modded truck that is towing some form of vehicle as they're heading along, minding their own business. They're coming up towards a junction. I don't know if it hit something in the ground. It hit something to stop. It's like a pothole, perhaps, and, well, the truck being towed gets catapulted forward. Yes, I do believe that is how it works. Luna up next on the long drive is heading along when everything explodes for no good reason. I don't actually know why everything exploded on this particular car. There wasn't anything around to show it, but everything did, and it does get a lot worse for them as when it hits the ground they kind of fall, they get killed. They fall out of the car when it hits the ground? I don't know. It was a bad time, I'll tell you that much. Another bad time, this one for Rubber Ducky on Euro Truck Simulator 2, is in a hurry, hopes the AI is going to stop. The AI aren't going to stop. The AI plough into the front of their truck. And, nope, that's not been a good day for them. Everything is glitchy and everything is angry, and their truck is very much stuck. Yet, turns out, the AI did not want to be patient on that one. And that's the end of that. Stitch is up next on Euro Truck, this one with the multiplayer mod. Now they're heading along the motorway going quite fast, faster than you should be, really. And the thing is with this, with a little bit of weaving and a little bit of lagging, things go wrong for the truck ahead, and then for the truck we're on board with as it gets flung. Catapults. Actually, it does manage to take out the other vehicle up ahead as well. So, yeah, there is a downside of running quite quickly in trucks. Now this one here is very broken, and the motorway is blocked, and they've made a mess of all of that. Sedate Painter up next on Need for Speed Most Wanted is running away from the police, as you do. Speaking of things being pinged around, this time though it is the police cars in the roadblock that get launched. I mean, the player car gets one roll out of it, the police car gets a lot more rolls out of it. In fact, it's still going, tumbling down the road. It's not quite going to be a record like that drag truck from last week, but it's still pretty damn good going. We're on to Hot Pursuit Remastered with Wet Muffin next, also dealing with the police, but it's not the police causing problems this time around, though. Oh no, it heads around the corner, everything is fine, leading the race. The AI decide to respawn one of the racers directly in front of them, heading towards her. Why, I don't know. That's really strange. Really unhelpful as well, as it drops them to the back of the field. Going Crescent up next on Wreckfest is driving the Hearse. Notoriously tricky turn one here, too much speed, gets it wrong, clips the it's like the curbing, and is actually launched clean out of the circuit. I've seen quite a few crashes at that point, but it is quite difficult to get it all the way out of the circuit, so well done. Sticking with Wreckfest. Now, this is with the extreme, whatever the highest crazy level of damage is. Now, weird things, of course, are going to happen when you run this level of damage, but this I have never quite seen before. The vehicle slides down, it kind of slides down a ramp on its side, smashing the front, it kind of smashes the front end in, but it actually twists the whole corner up, so it's basically at a 90-degree angle to where it should be. That is really quite impressive. That is really, really quite impressive. Never quite seen damage like that before. But there we go. We move on to Midnight Club 2 with the luckiest escape. It doesn't look like it when they bumped into the bin lorry. However, the AIs caused mayhem up ahead, and because they were slow enough, because of that slight collision, they're far enough back, they can go under the bus, in between the van and the stricken racer. It's a hell of a lucky dodge through all of that. And finally we move on to a race room, and this is with the AIs having some problems. Yes, the AIs and curbs do not get along. The GTR doesn't really get to the inside at turn 1, bobbles over the curb and goes for a half spin. The problem is it's now parked. The AIs also have problems with a couple of other cars. I think the Koenigsegg also hit the curb and spun. But now there's a GTR stuck in an awkward place and no one knows how to deal with it. We've got like 3 cars wide going on through all of this. The Celine is going to do the investigative bump on the GTR. That didn't work. Now we've got another bump, secondary bump for good luck. The rough, I think that's a rough anyway, is also stuck in the midst of all of this. They do just about sort themselves out, most of them, apart from the Celine. Well, the Celine's not being helped by the red car either. The Ford is also giving some assistance. They do eventually get around there. The Celine is just determined to crash into. That time we've reversed far enough back. We got to go for... no, we're going to go for bump into again, aren't we? Yep. Sometimes the AI are not so good at managing to negotiate around trouble. That is for sure. But that is going to be it for this video. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via a Google form. There'll be a link to it in the description. All the rules and how it works can be found on there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.